building. Because we are working these. Wait. I see a couple, perhaps even yours, smiling like they're happy, but it's a...
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I'm your host, your YouTube messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated superstar, Tim Vicious, and we are talking about Raw. This was the Go Home Raw for Battleground, and oh my God, was this good. Folks, I cannot make this up. Normally I always go on about on how much so, you know, you have to always wind up making the Go Home Raws and the Fallout Raws important as all hell. Folks, I wish I could make a joke saying on how they stress the importance on this, but I cannot. It was that damn good. You know? Now, they wound up starting out the show. They wound up having my savior. I don't know if he's yours, but definitely mine, as well as with his benevolent god of destruction, Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar out there. And of course, Paul did bring up on how Seth Rollins broke the 11th commandment, thou shalt not provoke the beast. Unfortunately, people still seem to keep forgetting the 12th commandment, which is when Paul Heyman speaks, you shut the hell up. I digress though, moving along. Paul came out, brought up on how Seth did that, and on how Brock was just straight out Brock and destroyed the Cadillac, like I brought up last week, which that was just sheer beauty. You know, it's, I mean, an axe in each hand, just look over like, that's a nice car. Be a shame if somebody were to fuck it up. And, oh, wait, what's this? John Cena throws a hat out into the crowd, huh? Well, let's see him throw a car door out into a crowd. Seriously, I'm not even lying. Brock Lesnar threw a car door out into the crowd, and it flew far enough to where it hit a fan. The fan obviously was perfectly fine. If I was that fan, first thing I would have done after they looked me over was I'd have said, I won't file any charges so long as I get to keep that door. And, you know, can I get to hang out in the back after the show, please? That would be it. I don't know. Just me, though. Spitballing. Enough talking about the past. Focus on right now, though. This week's Raw. So, as Heyman is talking about on how this is going to be a rarity, because it is a rarity. We see Brock Lesnar as a challenger. It was rare when we saw Brock Lesnar challenge The Rock for the WWF Championship and win. It was a rare challenge to see Brock Lesnar challenge John Cena for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and he did. And of course, when Brock Lesnar wound up challenging The Undertaker and put the one behind the one in 21 and 1. Yes. And as Paul is talking about on how after Battleground and Seth takes a nice little visit to Suplex City, the new WWE Heavyweight Champion will be Brock Lesnar, and then cue Seth's music. Seth brings up on how he's pissed off and that was a stupid move on Brock's part on going and trashing the car, and then Kane decides to jump in, and then Paul brings up on how, oh, I'm sorry, was I not supposed to mention how my client beat your big brother? On how my client put the one in 21 and 1. And then we got baby brother chants. And then when Seth was saying on how he's going to wind up going to Suplex City and he's going to burn it down, Brock just takes the mic off of Paul. He says one short sentence. and the entire crowd goes nuts. I kid you not, he got the loudest pop out of that entire segment. He just says, "Why don't I just take you to Suplex City now, bitch?" Boom! You'd have thought the roof came off for pretty much to describe on how loud the crowd got for that one. Just thinking, oh shit, we gonna get this fight now. And then Kane says they're gonna do a contract signing later tonight, so we'll get to that when that time comes. Meanwhile, first matchup. Tag team match, Orton and Ryroyd versus Big Show and Sheamus when Miz was on commentary. Now, I'm not even going to lie, folks. I wish I could say I saw this match. I only saw a good maybe the last 1/3 of the match. I lost my signal feed for satellite because there was a nasty rainstorm. Literally just coming in when that match started. I caught bits and pieces on it, streaming it on the computer, and not to worry, I will not say which sites because I will not incriminate myself. I am smart enough not to do that. But either way, you know, from what I did see and from what I wound up going off of reading on Twitter, this was really had just a Teddy Long feel for a match. I mean, obviously it just, aside from being a tag team match, players, holla, 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 you know, that was just really, you know, it felt like a Teddy Long special. That's all. As far as who won, you know, Randy and Ryroyd got the win. Randy hit an RKO onto Sheamus, and then Ryroyd did the Royd splash, and then got the 1, 2, 3. That was it. Yeah. Okay. So while I missed that, moving along, right after that, out comes Ambrose, and it looks like we're gonna get an Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt match, which is good. We haven't seen that in a good while. Those two had really good chemistry. Always loved seeing them guys work. But just as Bray blew out the lantern and the lights came on, Roman came out and just wham, decked him. And the entire time, Ambrose is just sitting up on the table, on the announce table, like, hey guys, yeah, I'm just, don't mind me. I'm gonna let them two settle their thing. So, JBL, know any girls whose titties need ministering? You know, he was just sitting there chilling like that. No match wound up coming from that though. So moving along, wound up getting, well, should emphasize on the importance of that segment because going from Money in the Bank up until now, Bray has had nothing but the upper hand on Roman as far as with the mind games go. Roman coming off strong on this one at the end. Looks like it's obvious that Roman's going to wind up winning this match against him and Bray. Now, moving along, next match though, we got 6-man tag match, New Day versus Primetime Players with one of my favorite guys out there, Mark Henry, and damn, this did not disappoint me one bit. This was a good, solid match, you know. It felt like, you know, okay, obviously Big E does have power. That is a big given on him. But, you know, it felt like you were really seeing more so a match of speed and agility versus brute force because, well, let's face facts, since Darren came back from his injury and, after he reunited with Titus and they remade the Primetime Players, he looks good, he looks bigger, he looks like he packed on a good 15, maybe 20 pounds of muscle. Titus, we already know on how big he is, and Mark Henry, do we need to explain that? Like I said before, for crying out loud, Muscle and Fitness marked down Mark Henry as literally one of these, put him down in the top 5, I kid you not, 5, as the strongest people on planet Earth. What in God's good name does that tell you? You know, but moving along. This was just this was like speed and agility versus brute force, and They went together really well, just like peanut butter and chocolate. I love that. You know, it was fair. It felt very much so like both sides were equal. And when I mean equal, I don't mean like, you know, brute force versus brute force, agility versus agility kind of thing. I mean like for every shot that the primetime players threw out, it seemed like the New Day threw one back at them. You know, they were going blow for blow on each shot. You know, and that was good. You know, especially since, again, go home show, they're hyping up New Day versus primetime players at Battleground for the tag titles. You know, 10 gets you 20, primetime's going to walk out of that. But there's still that chance that New Day's going to wind up winning, especially since they tend to go and do that Freebird rule. You know? Now, moving along though, as far as with this match, on how they wound up, on who won and how, you know, excuse me. As far as with on who won and how, yeah, they want, yeah, primetime players, and Mark Henry wound up getting the win. Henry he had Kofi, just picked him up, wham, slammed him down, gave him a world's strongest slam. Didn't even look like he was doing like the mad, that's what I do kind of thing. He just like, bitch, please, you did not just try to throw yourself at me. Gave him a world's strongest slam, then they got the 1, 2, 3, so yeah, they got the win. You know, and Henry I've always been a supporter for, because the guy is a good solid worker. He does know how to work a crowd and the mic. You know? And he is legitimately one of those guys that should have been a world champion. And I'm not just talking world heavyweight champion. You know, but I mean like WWE champion, but never wound up getting it for whatever reason. You know? So, next matchup we had after that, it was R-Truth versus Barrett again, and dude, I am still confused to no utter end as to what, how, or why this story. Seriously. I mean, it confuses me to no end on that. Okay, Barrett won King of the Ring. The King of the Ring is supposed to push you. You know, say, okay, you're ready to start moving up. You know, you look at the past King of the Rings, Owen Hart. Well, okay, Owen's a bad example because they never pulled the trigger on Owen. Not so much that they didn't get the chance to. Bret Hart, Steve Austin, you know, like that, Kurt Angle, you know, Brock Lesnar, you know, Edge. It's those 5 names right there. You know, three of them, Hall of Famers. What's that tell you? Moving along though, the King of the Ring is supposed to help say, okay, I'm ready to start getting moved up and get treated better. And, you know, sometimes they'll throw a crappy king gimmick on someone. In this case, they did with Barrett. Mostly because, you know, the whole bad news thing wound up isn't going over anymore. So, but, yeah. Now you got Truth just going, he's saying he's king, what's up? I swear, the only reason why Truth is getting airtime right now, really, is just because of the simple fact that, you know, he's got a music album set to come out, and they're letting him be on TV to help give time to, that way he can work a way to get it plugged. You know? As far as with this, it was a mediocre match, you know, it felt like just something to chew the clock for a minute, like, chew the clock, you know? Other than that, though, Truth wound up getting the win with the lie detector. Next up, we had Cena come out, issue the US Open Challenge. First big shocker from that was the fact that Cena did not wind up cutting his normal honor that this title has or promo on what guy I'm fighting at a pay-per-view. Now, what he did, he just stood there in the ring. Next thing you know, out comes Rusev. Rusev says, he's gonna beat him. He's gonna challenge Cena for the title and win it back. Then out comes Owens and says, you know what? Screw this. I'm not waiting until Sunday. I want it now. And then Rusev just looks at him and says, you're not getting title, silly French, Canadian, American man. Which I absolutely lost. You know, I'm French Canadian, French American Canadian. Yeah, it goes up there with Rusev saying, Big Show, I kick you in groin and rip out your spine. You know, I'm just waiting for eventually one day for Rusev to go and say that he's going to hunt for moose and squirrel. You know? Please let that be soon. You know, and then out comes Cesaro, who, you know, again, Cesaro. Like I said before, like my homeboy Bingus is with Billy Gunn, I am with Cesaro, and damn does that dude not disappoint in one bit. You know? He comes out, and then next thing you know, they go to commercial, they come back, they wind up showing that it's now going to be a triple threat match, and the winner of that match fights Cena. And this, oh my god, did this match not disappoint in one way, shape, or form. I normally talk about on how in a triple threat, you'll get somebody who feels like a third wheel in a triple threat match. Not in this one, brother. They all bounced off of each other perfectly. I mean, Owens hit a cannonball on Rusev, and then Rusev, of all people, did a cannonball onto Owens. Cesaro just uppercut, you know, uppercuts, gut wrench. He did a standing vertical suplex on Rusev. And Rusev is 300 plus, so he's putting 300 plus pounds, not just on one shoulder, but he's got to hold all of that weight down on his lower back and his damn legs. He's holding that up just like this, like, wham, and then drops him. And he held him up for like a good 20 to 30 seconds. So, you know, it wasn't just like with me just doing this for a few seconds and then dropping him. No, he held him up for a good bit. And like I've said before, Cesaro, hands down, the most underutilized talent out there in WWE. The man should be main eventing, you know, dominating, destroying, you know, no matter what, the guy can do it. And for whatever reason, and I'm just going to go and assume that it's Kevin Dunn who thought this idea and wound up putting that little earworm into Vince's ear saying that, oh, well, he's Swedish, he doesn't connect with the fans. Dude, really? Really? You let Cesaro be himself, not make him this yodeler or, you know, somebody who is trying to say his country is better than America or something like that. No, you let him be himself, and I guarantee he'll get over. No lie on that. Cesaro, definitely. The man should be a main eventer. The fact that he is not is an absolute travesty. Now, Owens, on the other hand, you definitely see a bright future with Owens, because I guarantee 5 years from now, when we're watching WrestleMania 36 and we're getting it beamed directly into our heads courtesy of the WWE Network brain chip that Vince is going to eventually wind up making, you know, when we see then babyface Sami Zayn win the Royal Rumble and challenge the then top heel of the company and WWE World Heavyweight Champion Kevin Owens, everyone's going to freak. And not only is everyone going to freak, there's going to be orphans, and I mean orphans, running out into the ring to go and hug Sami and thank him for winning the title from the mean, bad, evil Kevin Owens. And if you get the orphan reference, God bless you. But moving along now. This match did not disappoint. Cesaro, he was on point with everything. Like I said, he did that vertical suplex. He wound up throwing out the shot for the Tower of Doom. You know, Rusev was up on the top rope. Owens had him lined up for a superplex, and then Cesaro just comes up and wham, power bombs. And then right after that, Cesaro double German suplex onto Owens while Owens is holding Rusev. So he had to pull both of their weights. Rusev's already 300 plus. Owens is a good 260. He weighs about as much as Brock, you know? And so that's roughly over 500 plus pounds that he just picks up and threw like that. That motherfucker is the guy you would be afraid to arm wrestle. Not just arm wrestle, but afraid to, you know, just go and get an ass, be on the ass end of an ass kicking from. Yeah, but anyways, partway through the match, Owens just like, you know what? Screw this. I don't want this. I'm just gonna wait until Sunday, you know. And heel 101, he's doing good. It's part of his character and it's part of the heel psychology. He's doing what a heel does. He's like, I don't want to do this. You know what? Screw you. Screw this. I'm going to go and do my own thing, my own way. That's heel tactics. That's heel psychology, and it works. And so it wound up becoming eventually a match between Cesaro and Rusev. It was still technically under triple threat rules, but man, this match was so good though. And match wound up coming to an end though eventually. You know, Cesaro did a suicide dive through the middle rope, got Rusev outside, hit him with a few uppercuts, got him in the ring. Next thing you know, when they get back in the ring, Rusev caught him with a super kick and then got the 1-2-3. Then next thing you know, they wind up doing Rusev versus Cena. Like they went to commercial and then they came back. The look Rusev had on his face was just priceless because he just had this look of, you gotta be kidding me. I just went through that and you want me to fight this guy? Oh fuck this shit. When am I getting paid again? But yeah. So this match, it was very obviously a very slow pace. You know, which was expected for this match because it was very much so needed and expected. Because if Rusev would have came off like he was still running on on fire, you know, it's would have killed any momentum between that Owens and Cesaro had, you know. But you know, Cena, he had the match pretty much dominant. You know, he wound up having Rusev up for an AA. Rusev countered, threw himself down, landing on his feet, and then just wham, dropped all of his weight down, and then got him locked in the accolade. Right as he locked in the accolade, Owens came in and super kicked him. So that's on how that match wound up ending. You know. So, now, before I get into the last match of the night, before leading into the contract signing, I'm going to talk about one promo that did happen, which was hands down one of the best segments Raw had in years, and I mean years, people. You know, the Bellas were out, Alicia, Brie, you know, Nikki, Brie, Alicia, Dudley, Fox, Bella, I mean, yeah, you know, and Nikki's talking about on how she's getting closer and closer to 300 days. She's gonna be the best. She's the best champion. She is the bar standard and all that. And then she runs the division and the company and all that shit. You know. And then out comes Steph and says, "No, you don't." I've had one person continuing to say something about problems with you girls for a while, so Paige, come on down, honey. Paige comes down and then says, you know, I think might need to bring up, you want a challenge? I'll give you a challenge. Here's a girl straight out of Dublin, Becky Lynch. Becky comes out. Oh my God, the crowd went nuts. And then Charlotte came out, and amazing. And then, of all people, Steph brought out Sasha Banks. She came out. My God, you'd have thought like the second fucking coming of Jesus Christ wound up happening right then and there. You know? And the Bellas was just like, you know, and then next, you know, big, huge brawl. And folks, I kid you not, I got one picture to describe the entire event. It is, if I had to, this right here describes it all, folks. Becky got in her armbar, Charlotte got the figure 8, and Sasha had the bank statement in on all of the Bellas. And damn if that was not impressive, and that leave a huge statement on it all. Because now that is just saying straight up that the girls are here and here to kick some ass. Not be sports entertainers, but actual women wrestlers. So, now moving along to the last match of the night, the quote-unquote main event, seeing as on how this is the last match of the night. Stardust versus Adrian Neville. And this was actually, it was fairly decent. This was Cody's first match back from, you know, since his dad passed. You know, R.I.P. Dusty, we love and miss you, brother. You know, it was very much an emotional moment right then and there, seeing him come down, because, you know, I'm pretty sure the whole time he's thinking, you know, I can't speak from personal experience. All I can think right offhand is he's got to be thinking, Dad's got the best seat in the house to watch me tonight. But this match, you know, it was at a good pace, and it was good back and forth between them both, you know? I mean, Neville, he's actually, you know, Neville, obviously, he's got more of an acrobatic and a high-flying style. But Cody can do somewhat of that kind of a style too, but he's also known for an amateur wrestling before he got into pro wrestling. So, he does a lot of ground-based work. But it was a decent back and forth, and match wound up coming to an end. Cody wound up doing a roll-up, holding on to the tights. So, you know, and some people are just like, oh, that was a horrible way for him to lose. A heel using a heel move as a finish. I don't know about anyone else, but the only thing I can complain on that is, you know, I may not be a fan of the actual finish itself, just the roll-up. You know, I thought like maybe throw in a move or two before the roll-up, but that's just me. Now, on to the final moment of the night, the contract signing between Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins. Seth comes out, talks about on how, you know, he's going to destroy Brock at Battleground, on how he's going to conquer the Conqueror, destroy Suplex City, burn it to the ground. And then out comes Brock to a huge ovation, so you obviously definitely know now Brock is full on babyface, which I don't think Brock has been babyface since, you know, since when he lost the title to Big Show and Paul Heyman worked with Big Show. But I digress. They go and do that, and then next thing you know, Paul, he's got the mic and he's like, oh, Seth, don't look at me. Look at him. Don't take your eyes off of the beast. Because when he gets you, he's going to destroy you. Basically, to sum it up. That basically sums up what he says. Now, before I go any further, way my brain is wired, I'm sorry if I'm mismatching stuff with you folks. Especially you new viewers out there who ain't used to me jibber-jabbering like this. One of the things before then, Kane wound up saying to Seth he had a plan set up for Brock to deal with Brock. So, now, moving forward, Brock, he signs the contract, slides it over to Seth. Seth, he looks over, mad and grumpy, like, you know, like as if his fiance wound up hacking his Twitter account and released several inappropriate pictures of him. You know, not like that happened to him. And then signed it and then started to slide his hands underneath the desk. And then Paul's like, whoa, 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 hands where I can see them, now. And it's like, whoa, hey, Paul, relax. Ain't doing nothing. And then Brock just gets up, flips the table, pulls out an axe handle. He's like, an axe handle? Drops it, sets the table back up, picks it up, puts it back on the table, and just sits back, puts his feet up, and he's like, go ahead. Go ahead. Then he goes, grabs the axe handle, and then steps back. Next thing you know, Brock picks up the table itself and then throws it at Seth. Gets him into a corner, starts working him. Next thing you know, Kane's outside the ring, pulls Brock out, starts working on him, and then he winds up taking him down quick, winds up start working on Seth some, and then Kane winds up getting him. And you know, and they're starting to work him good, and then next thing you know, they throw Brock right into the stairs. Boom! Ugh. And then Brock, it's like he wound up getting into a Brock rage right after that, like, oh, you did not just make me hit a step, motherfucker. Now I'm gonna have to hurt you. And then he just went ballistic. He F5'd Kane. You know, Seth wound up looking like he voided his bowels and ran for his dear life through the crowd. And then after that, he lined up Kane's ankle on the one set of stairs, picked up the other, threw it down right on it, you know, and then after that, just walked off. Seth wound up coming back. It's like, this was your plan, Kane. This was your plan. Really? This got us nowhere. This got us nowhere. Just like you. Just like your career. You are worthless. You are nothing. All that jazz. And then started working on said shattered ankle. So Kane's obviously going to be out for a good while now, storyline wise, because of that. You know. But, yeah. So now, both sides are looking very good, very fierce. My money is on Brock winning. You know. Because, yeah, especially given that there's some speculation that they're looking to do Seth versus Triple H at SummerSlam. Nothing definite or written in stone, according to the sheets, but there's still some talk on that. But, yeah. So, much like I said, so that's it for this week's show, folks. So, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch the other episodes. Look for me on Twitter at TimVicious. Make sure y'all also look for my backup account, Tim_Vicious. You know, also, do not forget to go and check out the music that is being provided here for this show, courtesy of my executive producer, Mr. Oliver Rewind Benji. Yeah, and that is Rewind, spelled R-E-Y-N, excuse me, R-E-Y-N-D. You know, his music's out there, iTunes, Spotify, Xbox. Details are in the description below. You know. Also, do not forget to follow all of these cool-ass cats right here on Twitter. Vicky Earls, I am Danny Sunday, Mucky Moss, Axel Mulligan, Sunday Segway, Simply Sabrina, Cranky Grandpa, Legion Lady Aaron, not the executive producer, Oliver Ben, Just a Stupid Mark. Make sure you also check out Ollie Ben's and Masked Mark's show, the War Pain and Mask show, as well as my client, who, as I have said before, is the true Raw General Manager, Bronx Bitch Forever. And, folks, as I always tell ya, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck yous.